What's going on, guys? It's Max24, and it's Friday, which means it's time for another Weekly Gamer, the show where I talk about all of the gaming news of the week. And I'm gonna be honest, it's a pretty sad week. We had some layoffs, we have some companies struggling, we have some games being shut down. It's not a fun way to start 2023. Before we get into that, please always remember to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell friends, and all that other fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow my social media, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. I upload most on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow my places, subscribe to me here. And with that, let's get into the weekly gaming news. So we're just gonna rip the Band-Aid off right away and just talk. We're just gonna jump right into the sad news because I think most of this is sad. Maybe there's like one or two things that are a good thing, but most of it it's kind of tragic. So first up, Marvel's Avengers is officially being shuttered. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long. For those of you who remember, Marvel's Avengers launched about 2-3 years ago, I believe. Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics. This was supposed to be that game that Marvel fans have been waiting for. It was going to bring the Avengers team to video games in glorious fashion. Well, the minute it got released, it was controversial. There was live service elements everywhere. There was things that didn't need to happen. The post-launch support was all over the place. There just wasn't a lot of content here. Well, the story was interesting. Everything else was very bland. But they kept working on it. They kept releasing heroes. I believe we released a couple heroes. They released Black Panther at one point. They released the Winter Soldier at one point. They released Hawkeye and Kate Bishop. They were slowly churning out heroes. Well, the game was not getting like a boost in popularity at all. They were turning out heroes. They were turning out purchasable cosmetics. They were digging themselves a bigger hole. The game had already underperformed. And they finally are like, yeah, this isn't working. The final patch is set to come out March 31st. The final patch for Marvel's Avengers. What could have been this fantastic, huge, popular game ended up being this. Well, the final patch comes out on March 31st. All of the support, the bug fixes, all that stuff will end on September 30th. So there's a couple more months in between there where you can we'll still be fixing some things. They'll still be, making sure the game runs, but that's it. As well as on March 31st, all of the marketplace cosmetics will apparently become free to players. Nobody who purchased them will get refunds. It'll just be every player can have them now as they're ripping the microtransactions out of the game and just giving people the game. Now, how long will this last? I don't know, because the game is very much ingrained into the multiplayer landscape and online play. So hopefully they're doing something to make it so that the game's at least preserved. Even if it's not the best game in the world, it should not be just disappear because the servers get shut down, especially people who paid for the game and have put so much effort and time in playing this game. It should not just disappear like that. So hopefully Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics are figuring out a way to, kind of keep it around, just like taking the multiplayer off and just putting it single player. Let me know if you were a fan of Marvel's Avengers. I picked it up when I first came out. I played it for a little bit. I jumped on up until the Black Panther release, and I played him. I haven't jumped on it since. I never tried Spider-Man. I never tried Winter Soldier. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be. I'm sad to see it go, because any games getting canceled means people losing their jobs, means all this hard work is going out the window, means that there's a lot of mismanagement, and this is what happened from that. So, it's sad to see it go, but at the same time, I thought it would have already happened by now. Next up, Ubisoft is really struggling, all right? They've been struggling for the past couple of years. They're just not what they used to be, all right? They're throwing crap at the wall to see what sticks. They're fighting hostile takeovers. They're doing all this jazz, and they're not appeasing their fan base like they used to, and I guess there were some struggles last year. Mario Rabbids, Sparks and Hope, and Just Dance 2023 underperformed last year, and that has forced them to cancel 3 unannounced projects and restructure their company a little bit. Now, I am not surprised Just Dance 2023 underperformed. I don't know any Just Dance fan. I don't know anybody who plays those games. I don't know why they keep churning them out every single year, but they do. I am surprised that Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope didn't do well, because I thought there was a lot of hype around that game. People really liked Kingdom Battle, so I'm very surprised that the second one just didn't reach their expectations. Now, I don't know exactly what underperforming mean. Maybe they shot for the moon and they didn't get there, or maybe it actually was a bomb. I don't know. They may have revealed it. I don't know. I didn't look into that. I should have, as a gaming news person. Probably should look at everything, but I didn't really look into that. But yeah, because of that, 3 unannounced games. I'm hoping that the games were like Ubisoft Quartz. They were bad ideas. They weren't going to be good games. I'm hoping that series like Immortals Phoenix Rising weren't affected by that. But then on top of that, Skull and Bones has also been pushed back, all right? They were so confident when they announced a release date finally. Then it got pushed back. Then it got pushed back. Then it got pushed back. And now it has no release date, no official release date, and it's coming out in the physical year of, by the next physical year, I believe, is what they're going for. So that means the soonest it could come out is April, and it could come out in 2024. And Ubisoft, nobody cares about Skull and Bones anymore. All right, this game, nobody cared about it when he first announced it. Nobody cares about it now. Let's just pull the plug on this and just stop. Ubisoft is also not the only company that seems to be struggling in this new year. 343 Industries is going through a lot of changes. All right, a lot of shakeups there because of the not really success of Halo Infinite. All right, they really tried something new with Halo Infinite. They tried to make it into a live service title. They tried to wow everybody and bring Halo back for the new era. And it does not seem to have been working out in their favor, and I believe that Microsoft and Xbox and, 343 even are probably a little bit disappointed with how that game's played out. The post-launch support has just not been there, and 343 is now rumored to be being taken off of Halo development. They have been in charge of the Halo franchise ever since Bungie left Halo after Halo 3 and Halo Reach and went to go work on their Destiny series. 343 delivered Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite. None of those games have been on the same level as the original Halo trilogy with Bungie, and people have been kind of upset about the way 343 has been handling the overarching series, including, most recently, everything's come to a head with Halo Infinite, all right? Just the way that game was delayed, the way that the multiplayer has worked, the way the post-launch support has worked, the way the microtransactions have worked. People are just not happy with 343, and this excites a lot of people in the Halo community, this rumor. Now, I feel a little bad for 343 because, again, things like this, shakes up like this, mean a lot of people lose their jobs, but it does make sense with the way that the Xbox wants Halo to be this big, grand IP, and it's just not that big, grand IP. So they were supposed to be rumored to be taken off and will be made as a support studio going forward. Now, who is Halo going to be handed off to? We don't know. Some third-party studio maybe, or maybe another first-party studio. Imagine like an id Software Halo-led game. All right, I don't even know what they're doing now besides Doom, but that'd be wild. We won't know for a while. All right, there's probably no new Halo game in development currently, or if it is, it's very much pre-production, and we'll see what happens. And again, this is all rumor, so we don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes yet until somebody officially confirms it. But right now, it is very likely that 343 is being taken off of Halo. And along with that, Microsoft is laying off 10,000 employees this year. Throughout the year, it'll be finished by the end of the year. They're laying off a huge amount of staff. It seems. It's only apparently makes up like 5% of their overall workforce. And they have been steadily growing their workforce for a couple of years now, especially with these acquisitions. And now we see that they're laying off. And this is just not a Microsoft thing. This is across the tech industry. There's layoffs here, layoffs here. It's not even in the tech industry. It's across like most industries. There's just layoffs, and Microsoft's just one of the latest to lay off a bunch of people. It sounds like some of the most affected studios are the Starfield and Bethesda like production studios, and then Halo. Apparently 343 is losing about a third of its staff. That's a lot of people, but again, if they're doing these restructuring, it makes sense, all right? I feel bad for everyone who lost their jobs. I hope they land on their feet, and this is just the way it is right now. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the next couple months with Microsoft. We'll see more where these layoffs are hitting. Right now, it sounds like Bethesda and 343, but they're apparently going to be doing this throughout the year. So it'll be interesting. All right. Just continues the sad news of the week. It's, again, a really bad week for just everybody involved. Companies struggling, people being laid off. There's not really much good news in the air in the gaming industry right now. Well, hopefully that'll be fixed soon. So on top of that, the EU is allegedly sending an antitrust warning to Xbox. Xbox has been trying to acquire Activision Blizzard for like 2 years now, I believe. They announced their intention to buy them in 2020. It is now 2021. It is now 2023. So, yeah, this has been a going battle for a little while now. On and off. Or did they announce it? They might have announced it in 2022. My entire calendar's off. But this has been an ongoing battle. They've been fighting back and forth, all right? The different government bodies have been agreeing to it. Different government bodies have been fighting back. Sony's been a huge competitor in this, being like, oh no, this can't do this. Only I can make first party games. That's not really exactly what they've said, but like that's kind of what a lot of their statements imply. And it sounds like Nvidia and Google are joining PlayStation in raising concerns, which makes sense because Nvidia and Google have big cloud gaming sections. Well, Google did. Google Stadia. Everyone saw how that worked. But they have huge cloud gaming, and they're worried that this will give Microsoft an unfair edge in the cloud gaming space. And then PlayStation is, of course, concerned that they're going to lose their top spot as the console market. We'll see what happens. Microsoft is still apparently very confident that this will go through, that it'll be accepted. Well, this is going to be an ongoing battle throughout 2023 also. I just need this to be done. I need them to go through. This needs to stop, all right? Just either tell them no or tell them yes. This is sick of the fighting. Give me Call of Duty on Game Pass and stop this. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League got leaked. There was an alleged leak going around on the internet, and doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. All right, it looks like DC is trying to make Avengers, their own Avengers, and saw how well that worked out with my first story, how Avengers just got shuttered. Yeah, looks like Rocksteady wants to do that. The leaked image showed an online store, a battle pass, numerous different currencies, and then a very COD-like looking lobby screen that loads up a mission. You got your 4-player. It doesn't look like what we wanted. All right, this is supposed to be the return to the Arkhamverse that people have been waiting for. Rocksteady is back in the Arkham universe. This was the next chapter that they were telling. Now, I feel like the story will be really good, but will everything else? Marvel's Avengers story was good too, but was everything else? No. In this image, of course, this is only an image. We have no way of knowing exactly what the game will look like until they actually show us more, until we know more about what we're seeing there. But the image makes it look like it's going to have the good story, but nothing else. Nothing else to back it up. It looks like it's going to follow in the footsteps of literally every other big recent ensemble superhero game besides Midnight Suns. That was the only one who really didn't do this. But Marvel's Avengers, Gotham Knights, now Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. Why do we keep insisting on doing this, guys? All right, superhero fans don't want this. We don't want this stuff. Get it out of here. Go focus on making games like Marvel Spider-Man, please. Stop this. And then there's one final piece of news. There's not a lot of big announcements this week, but there will be a lot of announcements next week. On the 25th, Xbox is holding their first ever Xbox Direct. We don't know what this is going to look like. There's a high chance it'll look a lot like, a PlayStation Direct, or no, a Nintendo Direct and what PlayStation State of Play. I feel like it'll look a lot like those. But yeah, they're going to be showing off a couple other games. The biggest ones they talked about were Forza, Redfall, Minecraft, and Elder Scrolls Online. That might be all there is. They might be all they're focusing on, those 4 big titles, and they're just not doing anything else. Or there could be some little announcements, some bigger announcements, but I feel like it'll most be reserved for these 4 games. No matter what, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what Xbox does with this new format. Everybody seems to be adopting this format. I enjoy it. I'll miss some of the big shows that some of these studios used to put on, but I can't wait to see what they pull out. Apparently, they're going to shed some light on Starfield later, which is good because we're waiting on Starfield. We need more Starfield news. But yeah, that is it for this week of news. It's a pretty sad week, pretty gloom week. Hopefully next week will be a lot more fun, a lot happier, a lot more jump for joy. Yay, video games, love them. Here it feels like we should just hate the industry, but hopefully next week we'll love it again. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all that jazz, all the fun stuff us YouTubers tell you guys to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I upload most on Twitter and TikTok, sometimes on Facebook, barely ever on Instagram. Follow me, subscribe to me here. And with that, I hope to see you in the next video.